Sherlock Holmes and the Young Detectives, The Kidnapping of Lady Sarah Elworthy by Ngamoko Nikora. Chapter 1, A Recent Victory. The attic of Tipo's house buzzed with excitement as the four young detectives, Tom, Mark, Tipo and Bee, recalled their latest victory over Leopard Girl, the infamous jewel thief. They had worked tirelessly to apprehend Lady Jane Rowbottom, and the thrill of success still surged in their veins. "I still can't believe we actually did it," Bee exclaimed. "We actually outsmarted her." "It was teamwork that won the day," Tom replied with a grin. "But we're not stopping here. There are more mysteries waiting for us." Before any further plans could unfold, a sudden vibration interrupted their conversation. The time device, a pocket watch modified by Sherlock Holmes, glowed eerily with an incoming message. "Holmes needs us at Baker Street," Tipo read, reading the message. "He said it's of utmost importance." With a mix of curiosity and urgency, the young detectives gathered their belongings and set out for 221B Baker Street. Chapter 2. A Matter of Urgency. Upon arriving at Baker Street, they found Sherlock Holmes pacing the floor, deep in thought. He turned to greet them, his demeanour serious. "Thank you for coming, my young friends. I require your assistance with a troubling matter." "What's happened?" Mark asked, concern etched on his face. "The daughter of Lord Thomas Elworthy, Lady Sarah, has been kidnapped," Holmes replied gravely. "She was taken by a gang of cutthroats, demanding a ransom of £6 million. "What? Where did it happen?" Tom gasped. "Outside her private school. The kidnappers have contacted the family and given them 48 hours to pay the ransom. Time is of the essence," Holmes explained, his sharp eyes scanning the room. Bee clenched her fists in determination. "What can we do to help?" Holmes nodded appreciatively. "We will work together to locate Lady Sarah. I believe with our combined skills we can crack this case wide open." Chapter 3. The investigation begins. The group sprang into action, brainstorming ideas and devising a plan. With Holmes leading the charge, they decided to utilize special surveillance drones to search the area near Lady Sarah's school. "Let's deploy the drones and gather as much information as we can," Tipo suggested, already preparing the equipment. As the drones whirred into the sky, the young detectives monitored their progress from a nearby observation point. They scoured the surroundings, but after hours of searching, their results yielded nothing. "Nothing yet," Mark said, frustration creeping into his voice. Holmes remained focused and unfazed. "Patience is crucial. Let's regroup and consider alternative possibilities." Chapter 4. A Breakthrough. Just as they settled back at Baker Street, a messenger arrived with vital intel. Holmes scanned the note before looking up with renewed determination. "Lady Sarah is being held in a remote area south of London. We must act quickly." "Where exactly?" Tom asked, leaning closer. "An old house approximately 130 kilometres south of here," Holmes replied, urgency lacing his tone. "We need to plan for this new lead." Alight with adrenaline, the team worked late into the night, creating a detailed strategy to locate the kidnapped girl. Chapter 5. On the Trail. The following morning, they set out on the long drive southward, fueled by the hope of rescuing Lady Sarah. Upon reaching the area indicated by Holmes, they deployed their drones once more, searching the landscape for any signs of activity. Within a short time, the drones revealed an old, decrepit house shrouded in shadows. "There it is!" Bee exclaimed, pointing excitedly at the monitor. "That must be where she's been held." With a quick message to Inspector Lestrade and his police team, Holmes led the detective crew toward the house, their hearts racing with anticipation. Chapter 6. The Raid. Upon arriving at the location, Holmes and the young detectives staked out the house, waiting for the police to arrive before they moved in. The air was thick with tension as they observed the surrounding area. After what felt like an eternity, Inspector Lestrade and his officers finally pulled up. A plan had been established, and the police readied themselves for a forced entry. "On my signal," Lestrade instructed, his voice firm. "Let's go!" With a surge of adrenaline, the officers stormed the house, only to find it empty. Lady Sarah was missing. "How could this be?" Holmes muttered, his brow furrowing in confusion. "They must have moved her." The young detectives exchanged worried glances. Every second counted, and every minute lost created more danger for Lady Sarah. Chapter 7. A New Lead. Back at Baker Street, they regrouped to reassess their leads. Just as they were about to give up, a telegram arrived for Holmes. His eyes widened. "The kidnappers have relocated Lady Sarah. She is now in Banbury, a small city north of Oxford," Holmes declared. "We must head there immediately." "Let's set up a temporary headquarters," Tom suggested. "The Flying Horse Hotel will do." Just like that, the team packed up and drove to Banbury. Their anticipation was abuzz. Chapter 8. Surveillance and Suspicion. At the Flying Horse Hotel, they quickly established a base of operations, deploying their surveillance drones to scan the vicinity for any signs of the kidnappers' hideout. "Let's keep a close look on that industrial area over there," Tipo said, pointing on the map. "I think it could be a decent location for a hideout." An hour passed as they monitored the drones, and suddenly an alert came through. "Look!" Tipo shouted. "I've spotted suspicious movement near that half-abandoned warehouse." A meeting was quickly convened as Holmes allocated responsibilities to each member of his team. "Mark, you and Tipo will keep a watch from the drones. Tom, Bee, and I will approach the warehouse cautiously." Chapter 9. The chase ensues. As they arrived at the suspect house, they spotted several figures rushing out just as Holmes anticipated. The kidnappers were making their break. "After them!" Holmes commanded, the urgency evident in his tone. Marked by adrenaline, the young detectives pursued the fleeing criminals. Their hearts reacted as they sprinted toward their getaway car. Tom and Mark, using their speed and athleticism, managed to overtake the kidnappers, forcing their car off the road and into a ditch. With swift efficiency, Holmes, Tom, and Bee arrived at the scene. Chapter 10. The Final Confrontation. Holmes and the young detective surrounded the car while one of the kidnappers attempted to take Lady Sarah as a hostage, dragging her out from the passenger seat. "Don't! I'll shoot!" the kidnapper snarled, panic flashing across his face. Before he could act, Holmes and Tipo sprung into action, disarming the man and bringing him down to the ground. "Lady Sarah, are you all right?" Bee asked as they reached the trembling girl. "I'm scared, but I'm okay now," Lady Sarah stammered, relief flooding her voice. Just then, Inspector Lestrade and his team arrived, handcuffing the remaining kidnappers and assessing the scene. "Well done, Holmes," Lestrade exclaimed, pride evident in his tone. "And you too, young detectives. You've done exceptionally well." Epilogue: a successful rescue. As the police secured the kidnappers and led them away, the young detectives gathered around Lady Sarah. "You're safe now," Tom said, giving her a reassuring smile. "I can't thank you enough. I was so frightened," Sarah replied, her voice trembling with gratitude. Holmes surveyed the scene with a smirk. "We make quite the team, don't we? Each case solidifies our connections and our resolve." The young detectives exchanged glances, their hearts filled with pride. "We did it together," Mark said, clearly reflecting on the teamwork that led to their success. With Lady Sarah safely by their side, they felt an overwhelming sense of accomplishment. As they set out together toward the shimmering lights of London, they knew this rescue was just one of many adventures that lay ahead. The end. Sherlock Holmes and the Young Detectives. The Kidnapping of Lady Sarah Elworthy by Ngamoko Nikora. Copyright Ngamoko Nikora.